Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab of California, and we're going to do another breakdown here for you today on Andrew Luck. And with Andrew Luck here, it's going to be a little bit of a different breakdown. It's going to be about his before surgery, which this one is his before. Here, before. Sorry, I know I'm not an excellent speller. This is 2012. That one was a little bit too with the pen here. And then also, this is after 2018. So this was a couple weeks ago against the Dolphins. Looks like my pen here is fading with the battery. And then the right is a good game against the Lions in 2012. Come from behind win for the Lions. And really, we've been trying to knock these out here for you guys. So hope you enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and just let the play, just so you can see. Go ahead and let's slow down a couple times. I'm just going to do one angle this time, which I know I don't usually do that. But you can see it's a pretty similar throw on both sides. So you can kind of see what it looks like from one to the other. I would like to say too that Andrew Luck, I mean, overall has before or after very, very efficient. Very good at getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Very good at being able to transfer his weight. Is very stable in that front leg. I mean, there's a lot of things that he does very well, and that's why really he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL before the injury, and still is maintaining that status currently as one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Sorry, I just did this recording a few minutes ago and ended up it wasn't working, so I just wanted to double check to make sure it was actually working this time. So let's go and hop right through it. So we'll start out with the one on the right because that was before. And there's a couple things that I really want to or hope that you can see in the throw. And first thing is notice how when he's pushing off the back leg, you know, from an overall stride perspective, pretty similar. You know, maybe here he's taking a little bit bigger stride, but overall looks pretty similar. Has a pretty good weight shift here, especially on the right side. He does a really good job of shifting his weight forward, but then also gets full rotation as he's going through the throw. He puts a lot of rotation in his lower body, and then we compare that to now, where as he's transferring his weight forward, notice how he's transferring his weight, but then he gets a little bit of rotation, but really stops that rotation. Doesn't get as much consistent turn. Stops about there, and now as he's coming through, he's really not turning as much in the actual throw, but his finish ends up being pretty similar. So as he's stepping, now he's getting a little bit more open, and even when he's actually going in and initiating here, he gets more of a twist there in comparison to here where he goes and steps, and this is much more of like that type of a movement, so he's going towards his target, and then from there, then he rotates, where now he goes and really steps and then rotates pretty much simultaneously now, and just has to have a lot more stability within that front leg. And so how the weight shift is it looks a little bit like like he made a change there, got a little bit more conscientious of that. Now, the bigger thing though, and because it really was a lot, I mean, there were some shoulder problems that were going on within it, and it looks like now he puts a big focus on really driving through at the elbow. And I know you can't see the one on the right as well. It's a little bit older, and I, you know, how we do the comparison videos, had to zoom in a little bit, so kind of mess with the quality. But going into it, so notice he brings that arm back, and then really from there he brings that elbow through, but that elbow is really not driving all the way forward. He kind of lets that ball get away from his head a little bit here. Ball gets away from his head, and really gets that elbow gets away from his head as well. It's a little bit more kind of coming that type of a route with that angle, with that elbow, rather than now where notice how when he's coming through, he really drives that elbow straight through and puts a big emphasis on keeping that elbow close to his body, right? He doesn't let that elbow come out to the side. So as he's coming here, right there, he gets, that looks like a similar movement, but then from there, elbows really dominating that throw in comparison to here where he kind of lets there be a little bit of drag where that ball kind of gets back behind the elbow, and you know, doesn't drive through as much. Ends up throwing a lot more with that front shoulder, where here he's using a lot more back shoulder by being able to fully drive that elbow all the way through. And you can definitely see like there's a difference between where he was here and allowing that arm to kind of go out, and how his body overall rotates. He doesn't rotate all the way through during that throw in comparison to here. You know, see how when he finishes, he's coming through, boom, he kind of stops that rotation right there. So he's going here, boom, stop that rotation. See how that happens right there? Using a little bit more arm in comparison to now, whereas he's coming through, he puts that big throw or uses that elbow, and then as he uses that elbow, really gets a big pullback with that front arm to fully rotate all the way through that spine and get that full turn. And again, I mean, the ending solution or the ending result doesn't look super different. He might be a little bit more like in this angle here now in comparison to here, where he might be a little bit more straight up, but overall it looks like it's a similar result. And I think part of the reason that is because before he would rotate a lot during that throw, so he would end up getting to a similar position at the end, where now he doesn't have as much rotation, but he in his hips, but he gets a lot of rotation in the upper body, and so he ends up to get into a very overall similar spot. So yeah, I mean, just wanted to show a comparison from where he is now to where he was before. Just thought that would be very, very interesting. I'm gonna keep on doing these breakdowns. Thanks for sending in those recommendations. We'll get to, like, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get Donovan McNabb. Drew Bledsoe is going to be a little bit more difficult, just because, you know, using the Game Pass, it seems like being able to, you know, I don't know if Drew Bledsoe when he was playing, if we can get to that film, but if we can, we'll certainly do that. And yeah, keep on sending those in. I really appreciate it, and we're going to keep on knocking them out for you. As always, if you have any questions, you can send me an email at Morey, M-O-R-E-Y, at yourperformancelab.com. With the whole throw breakdown and throw program, I definitely always recommend people to get in. We're trying to get more of a scientific approach to helping quarterbacks get better. There's a lot of really good information that we're getting by being able to continually do these breakdowns, not only of top tier quarterbacks, professional quarterbacks, top college prospects, but as well as seeing how the development process is for younger youth quarterbacks, high school, college, middle school, by being able to really connect with what's going on there and help build a foundation for your mechanics as you get older, will really be able to serve you well. And also the drills and how we're doing. I mean, we really want to make this program super complete and super beneficial for you. So as always, I highly recommend you can be a part of the program. I think you'll really, really benefit from doing it. And yeah, if you, like I said, if you have any questions, reach out and we will talk to you soon. Thanks. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, you can subscribe down below, and that way you can get updates on any of the new videos that we get. Also, if you want to, you can check out some of our other breakdowns for speed and throwing. We have exercises, also jumping mechanics videos, a lot of great stuff within our channel. Hope you enjoy.